If you were drawn to this video and clicked on it, I'm so glad you're part of the collective for whom this message is. I'm not sure what it is yet. We will find out in a moment. Thank you to my returning viewers and subscribers. I truly appreciate you. So let's see what wants to come through today for this collective. We are all source energy, but we are not all the same. That can be a problem for some people because they do not feel worthy of the same things that other people have, or they compare themselves. Now, source energy. Now, there are an infinite amount of aspects of source, and there are an infinite amount of combinations of the amount of each aspect that you will embody, even as a human or as a different form of manifestation of creation. Every fractal of source contains the same energy, but in different combinations and in different amounts in relation to each other. That is why I always emphasize that you should be authentic, because that is the unique perspective of source that you are in your being, and that will not be repeated. When we create, there is a flow of energy, and you might have heard the term creating from the field. That is when you create from the collective consciousness. Most thoughts that you have are not original thoughts. They are thoughts that were thought by other human beings and that you now think, because you are part of the collective human consciousness. But although it's wonderful to be able to tap into the collective consciousness as we navigate life here on earth, that is just a small part of consciousness, as the supreme consciousness contains everything, which is much bigger, much bigger than human consciousness. Our spirit, though, contains aspect of the bigger consciousness. That is why we can connect through our higher self with alien consciousness that is foreign to us, with the consciousness of plants, of animals. In spirit, we can communicate with them, connect with them, and even create with them. I was at the beach meditating. Something extraordinary happened to me as I was walking into the water. I was thinking of one of our poets that wrote poetry in my mother tongue, in my language, Afrikaans. And she walked into the ocean to end her life here when she was very young. But the moment when my feet touched the water, the memory of her came to me. And then in that moment in time, I embodied her. It was not me standing there walking into the ocean. It was her. I experienced her. For some of you that might sound foreign, and for some it might sound familiar. I can't remember that I have before, in that way, experienced another human being. Because you see, we all are connected, and we do have access to the consciousness and to the thoughts and to the histories of other human beings, if we know how to work with the energies. And the way to experience more of this type of really life-changing experiences is to surrender. You have to become nothing in yourself to be able to make space for something else or somebody else, another energy to move through you. You must have trust in Source to know that nothing will happen to you, and you must also be not so attached to your identity or your ego so that it comes in the way. There's my little cat, my little black cat. Don't know what she wants. I'm not telling you to chase experiences, but we can learn so much. We can enrich our own wisdom when we can fully, even if it is only for a few moments, experience, feel in how the energy moves, how somebody else felt in an experience that they had. Unity consciousness, Christ consciousness, means that the lines between you and the other becomes blurred. Fifth dimensional consciousness, Christ consciousness, and the connectedness that it means you have with everything in creation, means that you can tap into these energies, these feelings. You can communicate with plants and animals and minerals. But because it is so foreign to many people, you have to get rid of the fear that you have of experiencing this. The fear of feeling strangely different than others. Because this is where the magic comes in. This is where things are not words anymore, but becomes very real. This is when you live being your higher self, being aligned. You have the knowing that you are always protected and cared for, and that if you surrender and more experience the supernatural as natural, the stronger you become. But in the process you might become, you might not be understood by as many people, but that doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter who believes you. It doesn't really matter what people say about you. But with this understanding, as you become familiar with your spirit, in which this human being is a part of. As you become more and more familiar with your spirit, you know that your spirit is that aspect that is already perfect and worthy. And with that knowing, with you embodying that, everything starts to appear in your reality that makes you happy, that you dream of. You start to live that dream effortlessly. So the change is not being made on the outside. The change is in the inside. The action is on the inside. And the action is surrender. Surrender to the infinite, powerful presence of Source. Surrender your thought, your ego, your ideas, your self-concept, and see how things change. Thank you so much for listening. If you have not subscribed yet and you like the channel, please consider doing so. It will really help me. You can also check out the online store that I opened. There are chakra dresses. So this is for the ladies, not only in the USA, but it's chakra dresses and leggings. They are really beautiful and comfortable. So, till I speak to you next time, I'm sending you my infinite love. Goodbye.